Well, hello there, YouTube. Welcome back to another live stream coming at you from a beautiful North Texas. I was saying earlier in the chat, anytime I can wake up and it's like 90 degrees in August or less than 90 degrees, absolutely a wonderful day. Cannot wait to get started on this one. Welcome back, guys. We're picking up where we left off in the South America tour. So we flew into Neuquén. Probably not saying that right. And now we're going to head over to a fun little airport, and I got a nice little scenery for it too. It was brought up to me as SABE, Jorge Newbery. I'm not sure what the common name of the airport is. I mean, you can Google an airport and it has like 6 different names, and I'm not sure what the common folk there in Buenos Aires refer to this airport as, but I'm just going to call it the LaGuardia of South America. So the approaches aren't all that challenging. However, we're going to do an NDB approach. We're going to do an NDB visual today. Short runway, right on the coastline. Our approach is going to take us in over the city of Buenos Aires. It should be absolutely beautiful. It's a little quiet versus the music right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Don't know why that was up there so loud about that. Sorry. Hopefully that'll be better. Anyway, It should be a nice flight headed over there, about 500 and something miles. I'm thinking we might have to throw in a couple random faults today just to see what we got. We'll give it a test. We're going to take the lovely Fenix A320 Aerolíneas Argentinas. I believe they just go by Argentina. Argentina is the call sign. We're going to be taking this lovely bird. Haven't been in the Fenix in quite some time. We flew the 7-3 around for a little bit, then we flew the BAE, then we flew the fly-by-wire. So it has been a minute since we've been on the Fenix A320. I can't wait to get back in it here. Hopefully there'll be an update popping off soon here with some IE engines and some sharklets in the future. But right now we're still rocking. This is a real-world airplane. I mean, straight up looks just like this. CFM 320 wingtip fences. So it should be a pretty good one. I hope you guys are ready. Oh, I have a double stream going on over here. That's not good. I hate that. All right, let me close that off. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. But all right, let's get this show started out. Blue Bear, good to see you. Rob H, good to see you, my friend Chris Super. Good morning to you. Jeff L. Romulus, always in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Scott is in the house as well. Alpha Mike, Coran Anderson, Mr. Fubar, good afternoon to you, sir. Matt Warren, Mauricio Diaz, hola. Keith B is also in the house. La Basura, what's that mean? Is that the garbage in Spanish? Paul Shoesmith, what's up, man? Robinson J. Santana, Ryan Acker, Jeremy Harvey in the house as well. Always a pleasure, Jeremy. Thank you again for all the sounds and all the music. Absolutely love it. Jeff L is in the house too. And a couple more. Chuck Blake, good to see you. It's bourbon o'clock here, says Paul Shoesmith. Hey, look, man, I'm not quite on the bourbon just yet, but I mean, I'm feeling good. I got myself some Texas tea right here, straight out of Austin, Texas. Austin's own Good Flow tea right here, my friend. So I'm going to be having some of that. Got my water. Got some snacks. Hopefully have some lunch here pretty soon because I'm pretty hungry, but it's going to be a good flight. I hope you guys are ready to get this show on the road. Let's do it, shall we? We'll go ahead and let that music fade out right now. Beautiful as always. Looks like we got another 320 here joining us on our flight over today. We're on ground power, so when I spawned in, the airplane was basically 180 the other way, so I don't know what's up with that. That's just Microsoft doing Microsoft things. So we're just going to deal with it. We're going to come out here, air stairs, man. This kind of makes me, I can't tell you the last time I boarded an airplane with air stairs. It's been quite some time. I kind of need to get out there and do a nice air stair boarding. It's always fun to get to walk under the wing, see all the engine and stuff. And I always like when we fly in somewhere where you deplane with air stairs. I'll go down, I'll sit down at the bottom of the stairs down there, and if there's any kids or anything, they want to look around the airplane. So it's always fun to do that. Haven't got to do that in a while though. I'm trying to think the last time I used air stairs. Man, I think I was in Cancun, actually. I think last time I used air stairs, we were down in Cancun and the terminal caught fire or something like that. So anyway, all right, here we go. Let's fire this puppy up. Let's do this. This is a CFM variant profile. There's no IEs just yet, but we got the old school today. We got some DDRMI in here. We've got the old analog standby indicator with airspeeds and barometric altitude as well. So let's see how this Fenix handles today. It's been a while, so I'm excited. Get those up. Turn the sim sounds up a tad. There you go. You can hear the power on. You can hear the gyro spinning up. A gyro is specific to this aircraft when you have the standby analogs. That's when you hear that gyro spin up. Ryan, I agree, man. I cannot wait for the IEs. Oh, Tony Johns, Burbank. You're right. It might have been Burbank, actually, last time I did. I'm trying to think. Burbank or Cancun, something like that. Yeah, the IEs, man, when the IEs drop on this airplane, it's going to be so much fun. So much fun. We'll let the testing process finish here. Gyros, yeah. Gotta love the gyro sound. Javier, what's up? Gonna try to join as Fly Bondi. Awesome. I looked for some Fly Bondi stuff. Didn't see anything for the Phoenix aircraft. I think there was one for the default Neo, and I think there was one for the fly-by-wire, but we'll be back in a 737 here soon enough. I gotta tell you guys, there's the 73600 there's this guy named Mike V on Flight Sim TO, and he's just popping off these old retro liveries that were on like 400s and 500s. He just released, I downloaded like his America West. He's got a Southwest one, like an old school retro that he just released. I am itching to fly some more like 7.3 pseudo 400 ops. Might have to fire up the old school Southwest as a members only, maybe tomorrow, maybe, I don't know, maybe a double header stream. I don't know, we'll see if I can get lunch today, but I'm just excited. Today's a good day, man. Anytime I can wake up. We just had a nice rain yesterday in Texas too, so you know, we've been living 105 110 degrees for the last month. To wake up after a nice little rainstorm yesterday, everything is refreshed, the dust is gone, the topsoil is gone. It just feels awesome to be back, or not be back, but just feels good. It's starting to remind me of, you know, a habitable space other than just a, you know, hell in late summer here in Texas. Turning into a Boeing guy? No, I'm not turning into a Boeing guy. I just love the liveries he's putting out. They're awesome. They're all retro. Because like I said, I'm gonna fly the 737-600 as a pseudo 500 or 400, and the liveries are coming out for it. It's great. All right, let's go strobe to the auto position, nav to position 1, no smoking auto, arm U, everything looks good here. Batteries look good. Let's do a battery charging test because the Phoenix tends to give me a little hard time sometimes with these batteries. Let's do a battery charge test. Remember, we're looking for 60 amps and less, decreasing within 10 seconds. So right now we got 0. We are on ground power. Let's go battery 1, battery 2 off, battery 1, battery 2, back on, and amperages are high. These batteries suck on this Phoenix, man. This is an old airplane. Let's start the clock. Let's count this down. We should see 10 seconds here. We've got to be less than 60 and 10. Don't think it's going to happen. We might have to come back and do another battery test here. Yeah, that's definitely not coming down. So, to battery test, basically we're just going to leave the airplane on the ground power right now, just as it is. We're going to let the batteries charge. So, we'll do a test before we disconnect. Let's do a fire test here. One. American has canceled 600 flights due to today's storms. Where at, man? Where are the storms at? I looked out the window and it was clearing a million, but maybe there's something moving in here. Not quite sure, but I don't doubt it, man. The American, they cancel at the first sign of a cloud. All right, that is set up. Let's go ahead and get some of this brightness back on a little bit. I don't really love these floodlights right now. Let's go ahead. Dial that back. We'll leave the integral lights on. There we go. That looks a little bit more realistic. Get our VORs on. Constraint mode on, reset our flight directors. Remember, they shouldn't be on during alignment. So you can see here, oh, wait a second. Wait a second, Phoenix. Why are you allowing me to turn flight directors on during a post-alignment? Incorrect. All right, let's go ahead. I believe that must have worked through recently, because before you couldn't do it. You could turn them off, and you couldn't turn them back on. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go a knit request here. Let's see if we can pull our flight plan out. What are the small screens above the McDoos? Get those questions a lot, Ryan. That is the DCDU, or digital. Oh gosh, digital controller. Something uplink. I can't remember. It's basically used for CPDLC, which is controller pilot data link, and this does function correctly if you have a VATSIM network that is currently logged in and using CPDLC. I believe it's pretty common if you fly in the European region of VATSIM, and I think some US controllers, I think somebody said on stream there are some controllers that do it here in the US as well, but I haven't actually even messed with it hardly at all. I think I logged in one time, but that was it. Data link control and display unit. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I only have so much room in my brain for certain things. I try to limit, the acronyms. I just spit out the acronym. I don't need to know what it means. I know what it means, like what it actually means. I just don't know what the acronym stands for. That tends to happen in aviation because there are so many different acronyms out there that it can really flood your brain. All right, we got a cruise altitude of 37,000 feet. I'm not quite sure if we'll get all the way up there. We'll take a look at that once we get airborne. Let's go ahead and we'll just do a full alignment. We'll let it align all the way here. So let's go back to secondary flight plan, initialize, and we're going to also start the boarding, right? Because we got to make sure we start boarding. That is real time. So let me pause the work down here. Let's come back over here. We are loaded up 128. We've got 15,000. We do have an alternate today because it is a short runway op. So we're going to have an alternate. I think that's why we're taking a little bit extra gas. Yeah, we need 15,000. So let's go ahead and load real time, 21 minutes. They will start the boarding process. We'll get back to chugging away here at the box. Hey, Captain, do you know how to configure the Bravo throttle? Ooh, I've been wrecking with my brain cells lately. Captain Squid, honestly, man, you know what? I did, but I don't anymore. I don't even have my Bravo throttle hooked up right now because I am using the Throttletek Flightbox. I'm going to be doing a video on how to bind the Throttletek. Maybe if you, what are you looking for to bind on the Bravo, man? I know it can be done. I had mine properly bound. I don't have it hooked up. I couldn't even begin to tell you right now. There's got to be some videos on YouTube to help you out with that. All right, that's good. Let's go ahead and get back to plugging away at the box here. I've heard the pilot say aviation is alphabet soup. Jeremy Harvey, that's absolutely correct, man. Absolutely correct. All right, so secondary, we're doing... Oh, I did that wrong. Let's reinitialize that secondary. We need to go, not SABE to SABE. We're going SAZN to SAZN in case we pop one, come back around here. SAZN, SAZN. There we go. Then we go secondary again. We're going to come right back around to 27. VOR 27 is fine. Secondary, perf. Arrow all the way over. What is the current barrel? Let's hit the magic barrow key. 1015 is the barrow. 1015. Temperature off the ECAM is 14 degrees. Wind, we're going to go 040 on the wind right now. And I don't remember what the minimums are, but we're at 800. Let's add, let's just say it's like 1200. If we have to come around, it's visual. We'll figure it out. That looks good. Rad nav. I'm actually going to hard tune a November Echo uniform, which is the VOR here. I'm not quite sure which one it is, though. Let me look at the JEPs. When you're not aligned, this is correct. So basically, you should have nautical miles here, the distance to the current VOR, but because the aircraft is not aligned, it doesn't know where it is. Thus, it cannot give you a distance. And we have 3 NEUs in the database, all with different frequencies. So I'm pretty sure it's not this one. I don't know, it might be. We're in South America. So the NEU VOR, to find out, I'm just going to look at a quick approach chart here just to see which one it is. Of course, I pick one that's not, doesn't even have it. Oh my goodness. These are all RNAVs. I just want the VOR, man. If I look at an approach chart, NEU is 16.7. So it's, oh, it is the one here, yeah, because we're in South America. So we're going to select this one. That's the one I want to have hard tuned. And they'll keep that there in the RadNav page. As far as progress goes, we're going to use a GPS position off of the airport center point, so SAZN, we'll put that in there. Perf data, we'll leave that to be filled out later. Nothing else here, nothing else here. Now, I did want to mention this page because somebody asked this in the Discord, and it was a great question. And I've seen, I believe it came up in someone else's stream. I can't remember who I was watching, but someone was asking about how can you pre-select the speed so it's not 250? Why would you want to do this? Sometimes you have a SID that says maintain 210 knots or maintain 250 knots until advised or whatever it may be. This is where you would put in 250 knots. So, or whatever pre-select speed you want. So when you go flaps 0 and the airplane starts to clean up in the climb out fades, it's going to go to 250 knots and then it will go to selected speed, meaning that you will have to manually change it. So that's good if, like, let's say there's a departure. I know there's one out of Detroit that says maintain 250 knots until advised by ATC. So even though you climb above 10,000 feet, they don't want you accelerating to your cost index climb out speed. This is when you'd want to have that 250 and that pre-select there so it doesn't do that. Now there's another way, there's, you know, you could do, let's say the SID says maintain 210 knots until advised, and you could put 210 there. What you do not want to put here is something above 250 knots, because let's say you put 300 in the pre-select. When you go flap 0, guess what the airplane's going to accelerate to? 300 knots. And if you're below 10,000 feet, you're speeding below 10. 250 below 10 is the speed limit. So this is a very handy Handy page for using speed constraints on departure, but like I said, don't put anything above 250 knots in there because the airplane will accelerate to that speed once you clean up the aircraft. All right, so that's good. The light switches, they are one big pasta thingy. What are you talking about? How do you configure the Bravo? Oh, the light switches. Oh, man, I didn't even configure light switches on the Bravo because it's just too much, man. I didn't even attempt it, my friend. All right, fuel, we're going to leave that there. We'll go in knit B. That looks good. We do have our fuel on board already, right? 15.2. That looks good. Let's see if it's balanced. It is balanced. We're going to go 15.2 in the fuel page there. Beautiful. Let's come over here and do some configuration. Let's look at, first let's make sure random failures are enabled. They are realistic and high. That's good. You know what? I think we might trigger a random failure in the climb out, huh? We'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll trigger a random failure and climb out, and then depending on how spicy we're feeling, we might do one on top of descent just to see what happens. If you want to see that, smash the like button. We'll have to see. But right now we do have failure rate realistic and all failures is selected. All right, cool. Nothing else to change here, but I do want to go get some ATIS. So we'll go ATSU, AOC, weather request. We're going to do SAZN, Nyoken, send that off. And while that's doing that, airplane is aligned. We have a company message. Just get rid of the fuel page. We'll come back over here. Return. We got to see what kind of messages we got. So first off, we got the load sheet. We'll accept that. Return. Weather data. Cavote conditions 290 at 4 knots, 15 on the temp, 1014. Beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful day. All right, so that is all good. We'll just go ahead and put you on the flight plan page for now. We're waiting for boarding to complete. We are going to come back over here now. Let's look at our star charts. Let's take a look at what we're doing today here. So SAZN, ground charts, 10-9. Alpha Star says, hey, Captain. Quite new to flight sim. I have an issue with the A320 when I flare the aircraft. Just keep flying over the runway. Make sure you're bringing your power to idle and actually cutting the auto thrust. So when you hear that retard, the auto thrust is still active. And if you do not bring the power all the way to idle and it does not disconnect, the airplane's going to thrust up and it's going to try to maintain VLS. So you got to make sure your power levers are bound properly so that when you do come to idle, that the auto thrust disengages and the engine spool back. If you have maybe like an incorrect binding or an incorrect calibration, what could happen is if you don't disconnect it, the auto thrust is going to spool up and try to maintain VLS and you're just never going to touch down. So that could be a problem. All right, so super short taxi. We're just going to go out straight out here to 27. We'll start up both engines here. We'll do a 2-engine taxi out. We'll do our flight control checks. We'll do everything here before we depart. That is good. As far as departures go, there's this one here. We're going out to BCA. I guess we can do this departure out to Ropon. Let's try that. We'll do the Ropon to Charlie. So let's go back to our flight plan. SAZN departure 27. Ropo to Charlie. Insert to Ropon. And then where's BCA in relation to Ropon? Let me go plan mode, zoom out a little bit. Where is... Oh, there it is. So perfect. That'll actually be perfect. I took a little bit different route than the initial one that SimBrief gave me because I wanted to kind of fly up the coastline a little bit. So that looks good. All right, let's put in our approach. All right, we are going to do a specific arrival here. So I'm going to come back over here. Let's look at the jet charts for Jorge Newbery. KM321, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Welcome to the stream, my friend. All right, arrival charts. I want us on the runway 31 arrivals off of... I'd like to do this. GBE, but I don't know if that's in our flight. Oh, it is in our flight plan. So this has this GBE to EZE. with this over here, we're gonna modify this. We're gonna delete EZE. We're gonna clear that. We're gonna go SABE arrival, and I want to do the NDB 31. And I want to do... No, I do not have FLS turned on for this flight. Now the question is, which arrival is that? That's going to be... This one probably here, Belgrano. Because I want to come off of this transition. So let me go back to the top. There's two of them. 7 Delta or 7 Romeo, I don't know. We'll just 7 Delta. Approach via, then I want to approach via the VOR, or I'm sorry, the NDB, which is Kilmes. ILM. Interesting enough, that's a waypoint in North America, Wilmington VOR. Alright, now let's see how bad we messed this up. Let's go plan mode, zoom it down. GBE, oh that actually looks perfect. GBE to PTA. From PTA, we go to the NDB. From there, we'll pick up the NDB approach in final lap strategy. So we're going to basically nav it, but we're going to back it up with the NDB, and then we'll be visual to 3-1. That should be absolutely beautiful. Good evening, Sari. Welcome. Alpha Star, should you bring a power to idle 30, 40 feet? Yeah, that's fine, man. Whenever you feel like you have enough energy to complete the approach and landing, my friend. Alright, so I like our flight plan. Secondary is done. Everything else looks good. We'll go back to the init B page. We're holding off there. We got constraint mode on. No ATC. Let's set our top altitude to flight level 370. 370 is set. Let me reset the flight directors. Oh, we don't have speeds. That's why that's why it says 100 there. That looks good. We talked about our taxi out. I guess we can go back to the Fenix loading page. 128 of 71. Everything else is loaded up though, so at this point, let's close up some doors. Ground services, there it is. We probably can close up forward and aft cargo. Let's do that. Lock those up. We can also close the doors on the right-hand side. So we'll close aircraft right number 2 and aircraft right number 1. We'll keep the stairs up, though, because we're loading. I have PCA air, which is the portable condition air. We can't. It's not modeled visually outside yet, but it should theoretically be keeping the cabin nice and cool. It is. 20-degree air is coming in, keeping everything nice and cool. And we're just chilling here on the ramp, getting ready to blast off. Looking good. Hey, Captain. Great to be catching the stream again. First one since moving to Austria from South Africa. Wow. James, well, welcome on board, man. Glad to have you on board. Hope you enjoy the stream, my friend. All right. Would have been nice to do a procedure turn. Is there a procedure turn on that approach? I didn't see one. It should be plenty good, though. Let's go ahead and get our fuel tank pumps on. Let's get our seatbelt sign on. Let's prime the APU. And we're going to spool it up. My electric fan is keeping me cool. No AC here. Oof. Hey, I know all about that. Middle of the summer, you guys remember when I was streaming here on the V1HQ with no air conditioning? Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Let's take a listen. Oh yeah, Tyson, oh, you know what, I gotta recheck the batteries. No AC and hot coffee. Whew. Robinson, you have 8 fans in your server room, both AC units out, 100 degrees. Ooh, that's hot, man. Chris, do I use the trim? Not really, man. In the Airbus, the only time you're manually going to be using the trim is when you're in an alternate law or direct loss scenario, most likely, or setting trim for takeoff. That's pretty much the only time you touch the trim wheel in the Airbus. All right, our APU is online. Let's go ahead and start the chrono for that for 3 minutes for our bleed. Now let's go ahead and take a look here. All right, so external power is connected. We've got 0 amps down there. We're going to stay on external power. And just to be safe, I'm going to go APU gen off. I don't want. I know it wouldn't transfer over, but let's do this. We're going to go off, and then we're going to go back on. And we're looking, and look at that. We are with less than 60 amps and decreasing, hopefully, so that is good. We'll go ahead and get that back on. What? Why? Why would it auto shut down? We were on... That's got to be something real that I'm missing mentally. Discharging the batteries. APU emergency shutdown. But we're on ground power, so we didn't lose anything. That shouldn't happen. Am I going crazy? That shouldn't happen. We're on ground power. APU emergency shutdown. Great. So now we just in-op the APU. Mother of... Alright, well, I guess we're going to fly with an in-op APU today. Hope you guys are ready. I guess we don't need to do any random failures because I just cooked the APU. The bleed was off and the generator was off. Might have been it was either a random fault or a bug. Blew back. So, but definitely a maintenance issue. Look, we don't have time to fix it now. We're just going to in-op the APU. So, that means we need to... Do I even have high pressure air in here? Do we have high pressure air? I think we do. It's in the box, right? McDo menu, ATSU. No. McDo maintenance, ground services, ground air right here. All right. So we're going to have to do a GPU. We're going to have to do a hovercard start. Great. Maintenance has a number for you to call to explain management how you broke the APU. Romulus, you know what? Next time I'm in the airplane, I'm going to do a battery test with the APU online because there's no reason that I can think of that the APU would auto shut down when you're on ground power. I'm literally doing a battery test. If I take the batteries offline, external power has picked up the load. I turn the batteries back online. External power is still connected to the aircraft. There's no reason that should trigger an APU auto shutdown. Now, if I didn't have external power on, then I could see why. But I'm either not, I'm missing something there. I don't want to say it's a bug, but I'm going to have to do some digging. I did bring my iPad? I did. I brought my work iPad. That's good. So we can dig around on that. We're going to get to the bottom of that once we get up in cruise, because that's twice now that's happened to me. So we're going to dig around. All right, we've got 10 more people to go. Everything else is good. We don't have an APU, so we're going to have to configure for a ground air start. So we're going to go packs off. I'm not going to read the whole checklist with you guys. I'm just going to kind of go through it through memory right now. So we got packs off. We'll take care of the cross bleed valve here. Basically what happens is we're going to go engine bleeds off, which we can configure them off now. We're going to go cross bleed to the open position. We'll connect ground air. We'll start number 2 first, and then we'll do a cross bleed start here at the gate. And then we'll start, then we'll get everything back online. So we are pretty much configured except for the crossbleed rotary selector at this point, and then we'll hook up ground air. So that's your brief. We've got terrain considerations. Not really any terrain out there. We'll go ahead and turn terrain off. No terrain considerations. 3 more people to go, and then we're out of here. Wrong side sim, what's going on, man? It says in-op APU, hope your dispatch confirmed with SABE that it can handle your in-op APU. And even though they probably did, it still won't have power and air when you get there. Oh, dude, you're absolutely right, man. Absolutely right. there's a lot that goes into, okay, now the APU's up, so now we need to go to a gate that has ground power or portable air or portable power. But yeah, man. Wrong Side, what's up, man? Good to see you on the stream. I know you were streaming earlier. Mr. Wrong Side Simulations himself, man, real world dispatcher. He's got a pretty slick little Airbus setup going on over there as well. Make sure you check him out on YouTube. So much to try to see if it's a bug or random failure. I will have to work with. I'll be, you know what? We're gonna find out, Tyson. I'm gonna dig around in the book. Dean Vodka, what's up, man? It says maybe low fuel pressure triggers the APU shutdown. Low fuel delivery pressure could do it, but I don't understand why it would get low fuel pressure in the scenario that I just had, where it stayed on battery. It was on ground power. I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna dig around the schematics. We're gonna schematicize. All right, boarding is complete. All right, so we got a couple different things we got to do here. Let's configure. Let's go ahead and close to left. Let's pull the aft stairs, pull the forward stairs. We're going to leave the chocks and cones on. We're also going to leave the GPU on. We're going to get rid of the conditioned air. You cannot use conditioned air and hovercart air to start the engines at the same time. So that is in op. Before we close the door, let's just double check what we got here. So we're going to get our weights in there. Let's do all of our weights stuff first. So weight and balance. And what is our real weight and balance? 123.5 and 30.4. 123.5 and 30.4 is set. That is done. Perf speeds. Not necessarily realistic here, but we're going to do it anyway. This plane is in a bad need of an update. Been flying the 30 fly-by-wire almost exclusively. Really, Cam? Really? You're exclusively in the fly-by-wire? Well, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying Microsoft. But I would like to see an update indeed for this aircraft. All right, we're going to blast off Nyokin 27 dry. Force Toga, yes. Anti-ice off. Packs on, hopefully. Flap optimum. Calculatore. Have you done approach to Pero? I have. I've done multiple approaches in the Pero. I don't know if I've done it in the Phoenix. 17, 40, 40, flaps 1 down 0.2. So 117, 140, 140. Engine acceleration now is 23. We're at flaps 1 down 0.2 on the THS. All right, beautiful. If that is done, let's go beacon on, crossbleed open. Let's close this door. You do a fair share of tolls as well, don't get me wrong. I do love the EFB and the 32NX. Yeah, the EFB is slick, man. I flew it yesterday. Really like the updates they've done. All right, so forward boarding door is closed. We still have the aircraft chalked, and we still have the GPU connected. So we're going to commence a ground air start. So you'd call ramp, ramp Aerolíneas. Is it Aerolíneas or is it Argentina? What's their call sign? Aerolíneas 357. We need to do a ramp start here at the gate. Aerolíneas 357, roger, ground air start approved. Advise when ready to taxi. All right, cool. So windows, doors, and slides, close and arm. Beacon on. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake is on. And I'm going to get the tiller cam up lines as well so you can see. So our parking brake is on. And windows, doors, and slides, close and arm. Beacon on. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake transponder. TARA. Or I guess transponder is auto. Turn that off for now. All right, good to go. Cool. Let's go ahead and connect there. So, double check our configuration. For ground air start, we're going to be starting number 2. Pack 1 off, engine 1 bleed off. Pack 2 off, engine 2 bleed off. Cross bleed selector is open. So all your European guys are going to love this. We're going to start engine 2 first today. Engine mode selector to ignition start. Cockpit to ground. Ground to cockpit. Go ahead, Captain. Hey, we are configured, ready to receive ground air, high pressure air. Copy that, Captain. We're turning it on now, and you would hear an absolutely shrieking whine outside. And they would know you have pressure. Copy, we got good pressure. We're starting number 2. Confirm. Confirm, you're clear to start number 2, Captain. All right. Listen to the startup sounds or lack thereof. Here we go, starting 2. All right, so I didn't even really hear that, but I think we got a good start. Wait, no, that's a Microsoft thing, that's switching. Still waiting for that to come up. Yeah, we blasted some people for sure. What does the DFDR button event mean? That is a digital flight data recorder event. So if something happens where you want to mark the tape, because maybe they're going to pull the cockpit tapes or the CVR for an event, you can mark it with the DFDR event. So maybe you had something with ATC or something happened, you press that button, and then when the NTSB or whoever is looking at the cockpit voice recorder tapes, they could see where you marked it, and you can find exactly where you were talking about. My text message sounds are louder than the engine start sounds for some reason. All right, air bleed 2 off. That's associated. So first things first. Let's go ahead and disconnect the high pressure air. So ground air off. Ground air off. We can go ahead and clear air because that's associated. Clear air, clear status, clear status. We're going to go back to normal on the ignition switch for right now. And we would start the timer, and because here's the thing, you don't just want to turn the packs on right after doing a ground air start with a hover cart, because even though they turn off the ground air, if I were to turn on the packs at this time right now, some of that air that was pushed in from the ground cart is going to be circulated through the packs, and it could bring pathogens and like just contamination into the air bleed system. So you want to wait a couple seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on what airplane you're on. I think the Embraer was like 60 seconds. I think the Airbus is like 2 minutes or something, 3 minutes. I can't remember what it is. It's in the book. And that way, when you do turn the packs on, you have fresh air going through there, because sometimes those ground air carts, not so much for the Airbus, but if you're starting a smaller engine like the Embraer or a CRJ, something like that, sometimes the air comes from a pressurized bottle. Like if you think of a big propane tank that looks just like that, but it's compressed air, and there can be all kinds of nasty stuff in there when they shoot that bottle into the airplane. And those ground air devices suck. I've had more hot starts on the Embraer because those stupid pressurized bottle things than anything else. So, all right, everything is good. We're going to go ahead and do a cross bleed start at the gate. So we're going to turn on the engine 2 bleed at this point. We're still leaving the packs on. Engine 1 bleed, receiving engine is off. That is good. And cockpit, let's see, cockpit to ground. We're going to go ahead and start number 1. Are you guys clear? Yeah, power and equipment is clear. You can go ahead and start engine number 2. And actually, at this point, you could disconnect from ground power and pull the ground power unit as well. So we can do that. Let's go ahead and pull the GPU. Let's go ahead and pull the chocks and cones. They'll get all cleaned up outside, and we're just going to do a number 2 start right here. So everything else looks good. We're going to go engine mode to ignition start again. Now we're blasting the terminal here, which is not cool. You can see we've got 28 PSI. Let's go ahead and juice it up a little bit. %, your limitation on the ground. There's about 38 PSI. Go ahead and turning engine 1. We'll monitor this one because it is a cross bleed start. We want to make sure we have enough pressure throughout the start. You can see we got 22 PSI during start. That's good. Inline green means that the bleed air is still flowing. Ignition alpha. I think this would be ignition AB because we went back to ignition start and then back to ignition. Could be a CFM thing, I don't remember. Typically in this scenario, you're going to see AB, both igniters on this type of startup procedure. All right, EGT's on the rise, N2's on the rise. So a good indicator that you're going to hot start, a little bit different here with the CFMs, but when you, like if you look at the IAEs, you'll have an actual N1 display, and, or I'm sorry, N2 display. And if your EGT starts outrunning your N2, then you know you're going to hot start. I mean, you don't know, but you know it's going to be pretty dang close. But you see how nice and easy this was? This means that the pressure was sufficient. If you have low pressure, that EGT starts running away. You might see like 500 EGT and your N2 is only at 30. Yeah, you can expect it's going to get very, very hot. All right, we got a good start. Air bleed 1, that's associated. Clear the caution. Clear air. Clear air. Status, clear status. Let's go ahead and reconfigure ignition switch to ignition norm. That goes good. We can go ahead and arm the speed brakes at this point. We're going to config flaps 1 as well. Have you ever been in contact with Fenix staff? If yes, then have talked to them about engine sound, let them know the problems the Fenix had. No, I've never. The only contact I've ever had was the day of release. Or the day before the release? I think it was the day of the release or the day before the release. They invited me to that, like, what, the stream, the pre-stream, I forget what it was called, where a bunch of us got the airplane a couple hours before release. That's pretty much the only contact I've had with the Fenix team. All right. So let's get back to where we are here. So that's done. We can go ahead and go back to auto. We can go engine 1 bleed on. Let's go ahead and get our packs on now. It's probably toasty in there, so I'm going to just go ahead and immediately start cooling down the cabin. Let's go pack flow high as well. That's going to increase the flow. And if we look at the bleed page here, you can see now indicated by high. And let's clean up the rest of the box. Probably taking a bit of a delay here because we had a ground start APU dropped off. It is what it is. Just got to roll with the punches. Do your job. Receive messages. Load sheet, that's the final. Fuel and tanks, what do we got? 15.2, accept. Beautiful. Put you back on the flight plan page. Everything else looks good. We said we were going to do all of our stuff here, right? So real quick, let's do first things over here. Let's get this back on Unicom. Sorry, guys, I'm not paying attention to chat, but we just got a lot to do here. Got busy. I didn't even expect it to get busy. After start, engine AI is off. The electric pump is off. Radar trim is 0. After start checklist is complete. Flight controls. Full up. Full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral. Rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Trim is down 0.2. That is set. On the speed brakes.
Token traffic on the 6514 taxiing to holding point runway 27 on Alpha.
Neocan traffic, Argentina 357 would taxi at 27 behind company, or behind traffic for Neocan. Alright, we are ready to go. Status is normal, lights are on. What is the status message over here saying? APU is in op, that's associated. Let's do it. Brakes released. Ooh, look at that. I love that sound. See, the sounds inside are freaking awesome, but they just need to change those startup sounds. And they don't even need to change them. All they need to do is give me a slider so I can crank them up, you know? Look at that little 737 situation over there. Gotta love it. All right, we're back. We're back with the chat. Sorry, guys. Blue Mac, yeah, I heard they are changing them. It should definitely be juicy. Is it true that 220 sounds like a whale on the apron? Yes, absolutely, Canadian. You can hear it. I hear them a lot in DFW over on the E terminal where Delta parks. You could be riding the SkyTrain, and you know when a 220 is taxiing off, because you know when it's a 220, because it's just so loud. It's like. Insert V1 sound emojis. Oh, Bondi disconnected. All right. Neocan traffic. Aerolina's 357 gonna line up away 27. Line up away 27. Let's do it. Given the proximity of Sim Update 10, I would expect the Fenix to be tied to that. Ooh. Romulus, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. But you're absolutely right. I bet you there is a relationship between Sim Update 10 and the Fenix update. A220 whale is similar to the MU2 sound harmonics. Exactly, Gustavo. That's a good old bird, MU2. All right, everything is done. All checklists are complete. We're going to say that they are. We'll line up here on 2-7. And we're going to blast off. Will Weather Radar come with Sim Update 10? That I do not know. I think they are releasing the API or something. Now, I think the devs probably have to take a hold of it. I don't know. I have no idea. It could, but I would doubt it. I think maybe at Sim Update 10, maybe they will implement the availability for Weather Radar to be implemented. But 10 for 10 on that lineup. Stop it right there. All right, what do we got? We got 250 watching, 117 likes. I like it. I like it. All right, let's do this, shall we? Lights on. That's on. That's on. That's on. Jerry Boo 57. Welcome to Commercial Pilot, sir. Exclamation point. Welcome for your new perks on the channel. Welcome aboard. Enjoy the Toga takeoff. Spool 'em up 50. Yoga's in chat. Nyoken traffic earliness 357 departing 27. Nyoken. Yoga. Definitely sounds better up here in front. Man, Toga, SRS nav, auto thrust blue. You could see speed select 210. That's what we put in the box. Beautiful. Thrust set. 100 knots. Check. V1. We'll rotate. Dang, that sounds good though up front. Positive rate. Gear up. Navin. Watch your ears, it's going to be loud. Fly with. Gotta love it. Goodbye, Nyoken. Argentina, here we come. Wait, are we technically in Argentina right now? Let's wait for that positive trend here. There it is. Thrust climb, navin. I'm staying above the flight director here so I can keep this turn kind of tight at 180 knots. Intentionally not flying the flight director, not the best technique in the world, but I'm doing it to keep a nice tight turn here. God, that looks amazing though, doesn't it? Nice tight turn all the way around. Are we standing already? All right, STD's set for you and me in the jump seater. 1, 2, and 3. Here comes S-speed. You know what? I'm going to let it auto retract on this one. We'll do an auto retract on this. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Even the trees are a nice fall color. Little haze on the horizon. Oh yeah, we're thanks, Danny. Obviously. Alright, so here comes our... Ooh, you know what? Because we are in selected 210, it may not. Let's go ahead and manage it up. We'll go to our climbs, manage climb speed. We'll see the auto retract here.
And you can traffic 156, departing runway 27 to the west.
He's departing. Should get an auto retract here any second. Any second. There it is. All right, let's go flaps 0. After takeoff checklist. Latest retard SABE, winds 020 at 7, Cav Oak 16, 10, 20. Awesome, thank you, Rab. No, we're hand flying, although it's pretty much a straight line. A little bright out there. Let's go ahead and drop the visor. There we go. Now we can actually see the cockpit. I wish you could modify how aggressive that eye adaptation is, because without the visor down, it's pretty hard to see this displays, especially for streaming, isn't it? If you're not watching your flaps retracting, seriously, what are you doing? Jeff, that's my thoughts exactly, man. My thoughts exactly. Here's 10K. Let's go ahead and kill the lights. Forward call. Let them know we're at a 10. Let's take a look at our condition. Oh, yeah, nice and cool. At that point, we're just going to go pack flow normal. Put this back to about the 11 o'clock position. It's pretty much the most comfortable. And we're looking for a climb out speed of 338. Ooh, 338, that's a good round. Papua, expensive too. 338 on the climb out speed. Ooh, on your way to Skiathos, Anthony? That's awesome, man. I flew in there on the Euro tour. It was a ton of fun. Let me turn down the sim just a little bit more. Brad K, what's going on, man? Welcome to Private Pilot. Glad to have you on board. Exclamation point, welcome for your new perks on the channel. Loving all the new members, loving all the new subs. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with me this afternoon. Should be a really nice approach. We've got a nice scenery over there as well. Did you ditch the track IR for good? For Microsoft, I think so, Gustavo. Just, I mean, for streaming, really. For streaming, yes, I think so. Because it's just too, it's like every time I look to my right, the screen moves to my right. And I gotta pause it, I forget to pause it. I still use it for DCS. Although I haven't had any time to do any DCS flying lately. But I love track IR. I think it's probably your best option as far as tracking moments. Not a fan of the Toby, but that's just a personal preference, right? So it doesn't mean it's just because it's what I prefer. But yeah, if I was flying alone, then yeah, I'd have track IR on. But streaming, nah. All right, we're pretty much straight line. So let's go autopilot 1 on. We'll go back to live cam. And let's take a look at a wing view here. Before we get too high and everything turns to crap, let's enjoy some of the views here. It's pretty flat right now. It's an interesting part of the tour that we're on. So the whole first half of the South America tour, we were dealing with high terrain, short runways, high density altitude. For the second half now, we'll get, the second half definitely into the second third, I guess. We're going to be seeing a little bit different of an experience. You're going to be seeing a lot more approaches into bigger cities, coastal approaches. You know, our approaches previously have been restricted to terrain, right? High terrain, tight corridors of maneuvering the aircraft safely. Now we look at, you have some circling approaches or some RMP approaches due to airspace restrictions, due to man-made obstructions. So it's a little bit different coming up the eastern coastline here of South America, but it's going to be just as beautiful. And Rio, I think Rio is going to be, I cannot wait for the Rio flight. How far is Buenos Aires from Rio? Is that doable in one flight, you think, or is that a little bit too long? Because I do want to take the Phoenix. We have to take the Phoenix into Rio because we have to recreate the PMDG 737 Gold flight that we did. Al W, got to catch replay. Take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping by while you can. Am I a rifle shooter? Oh, yeah, Chris. So I was doing all morning. I found if you set the drone cam out ahead of the aircraft, then unlock the follow mode, you can get a pretty decent flyby. Really, Ben? Interesting. Would it be nice if 320-200s upgrade for long-haul service, but I leave it up to 320neo LR? Yeah, that LR and the XLR, they're going to be a different category of airplane for the Airbus. That's going to be your long-range Airbus. Are you still planning a leg into the Amazon? Yes, Tyson. Got to find an airport suggestion for Amazon. And if you have a suggestion, I mean, you can mention it here. I probably won't remember it. The best place to put it is in the Discord, because if you have just ping me and put the route or an airport that is either has a unique approach or just good scenery, something that you would like to see on stream. Drop it in the Discord, and then that's when I go back when I'm planning my route, because I've planned this whole tour myself looking at SkyVector, then taking suggestions from you all in the chat, trying to see, okay, what are the distances? I don't want to sit here and do a 5-hour stream just for one leg, so I kind of have to make sure the distances are about 500 miles or less. Yeah, 230th, that's a little bit long, so we need to stop. We need, this is a good one for you, Gustavo. We need, what's a good place we could stop at between Rio and Buenos Aires? So, like, where can we stop in between there, Is there anything good or challenging or worth seeing on the way up. Let's go ahead and make sure everything else is fine. Everything is looking good. 19.8, climbing to 3.7. I said 37 was a little bit high. Let's take a look at that. Recommended max is 399. Optimum is 36. So, shoot. We'll climb all the way up to 370. I don't see a problem with that at all. Sao Paulo. Ooh, yeah, duh. We have to go to Sao Paulo. You need to do the air shuttle service. SBSB, SBRJ. Okay, okay. Congo, all right. Porto Alegre? Porto Alegre, sorry. I was thinking of Algiers, that was like France. Swarm, you and me both, man. You and me both. I lost all of them in a terrible boating accident. They all went to the bottom of the lake, dude. We'll monitor the climb out here. You know what? Let's. I've been liking this view more and more. I give all credit to XP72 for this, but I find myself doing this a lot in the real airplane. I'll cross my arms. I'll scoot my seat way up, just cross my arms, and sit up here on the dashboard and look out over the nose because. Just trying to look at good fishing spots or look for UFOs, look for traffic like a good aviator, I guess. But yeah, this view is so realistic in this airplane. It looks awesome. Flew on a 320 EOW the other week. Never heard of it before and can't really find anything about it. Just a short flight from Dallas to Buffalo. Oh, EOW, that's extended over water operations, Carson. So you have several different categories of aircraft to go out over water. So you have, basically you have your basic, you just have a regular airplane. Then you have an EOW, and then I think you have EOW plus 60. I can't remember what the actual is. I have to look up my iPad, which I'll pull out here in a minute. And then you have ETOPS. So ETOPS is that's your longest range. That's extended twin operations over water, or basically engine stern or passenger swim. But below ETOPS, you have EOW, or you have extended over water. And then there's one more. I'm pretty sure there's one more. I think there's 3 categories. But there are a lot of aircraft that are EOW aircraft that aren't ETOPS. So, for instance, if you want to go from Boston to what's one of those islands? St. Martin. You can take an EOW aircraft, but you couldn't take one that's not EOW, and you don't need to take an ETOPS aircraft, right? So it's kind of that middle ground. Plus 120 Canadian, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Did we investigate the APU? Not yet. As soon as we get to cruise, I'm going to hit the lav because I've been drinking too much Texas tea here, and then we're going to dig into the APU problem. We're going to dig into the APU problem, then I'm going to look up that EOW. EOW 120 maybe? I can't remember. It sounds right. 17 right is 1,900 meters, 2,600 ASL. Ooh. What airport is that, Gustavo? Which one's that? The one with the 1,900 meters at 2,600 elevation and a drop off. That sounds fun. Play Air goes from Iceland to Boston. That could work too, Danny. SBSP. Okay. SBSP. I think I did a stream in that. I think we kind of did our pseudo. Did we do a pseudo South America flying in this PMDG for a while? We might have flown in there. It sounds familiar. We're going to check it out for sure. SBRJR nav 02. We're going to look it up. Buenos Aires to Sao Paulo, 2 hours. That's a bit long. Yeah, that's why we're going to stop somewhere in between, Danny. We'll stop somewhere in between. Maybe we'll take maybe we'll take GOL, the PMDG 737 for that flight, and then we're going to do the Phoenix. We might have to do a 2-leg stream. We might have to just go all out. We might have to do a freaking 737 flight first, and then we have to do the Phoenix flight into Rio. I don't know. I kind of want to save the Rio as our own special stream because that to me is going to be I'm very excited for that one because when we saw the 7.3 come in there at sunrise, it was epic. I need the scenery there. I didn't have it. Okay. I'll do it, Gustavo. I will check out the sceneries as well. But yeah, I'm really excited for this part of the tour because I wanted Sao Paulo, Buenos Aires, Rio is going to be great. So, I mean, coming around that RMP we did in Rio, I love that. That big rock hanging off there, the stadium. I'm going to have to find, you know what? I'm gonna find that part of the stream, and then I'm gonna overlay it so you guys can watch it again, because it was that good. Have I ever been to Rio in real life? I have not been to Rio in real life, no. Unfortunately. Do some South America bush flying? You know what, Jeff? I was thinking, after we leave South America, because we're going to kind of go up through the islands, I think. I think maybe like, I want to maybe hit St. Martin on the way up. We might have to do a couple island hops. You know, maybe we'll pull out a little island hopper, do a little island hopping, and then we might finish it off with like St. Martin. Maybe not St. Martin. What's the furthest west? We might have to go... I don't know, we'll have to look at a map. And then back into Miami. Aerolíneas Argentinas never had a 320. Germany never gave the 320 to Argentina. Interesting. I saw a picture of it on YouTube, so I said, or I saw a picture of it on Google, so I said, it looks good enough for me. Ah, Javier, you had a disconnect. No worries, man. Port of Spain. There we go. St. Bart's, yeah. Yeah, St. Bart. Ooh, it'd be fun to fly some turboprop stuff in there. It might give me the reason, it might give me a reason to fly or pick up the Kodiak. I've been looking at that Quest Kodiak so much. I don't know if I could do it, man. It's G1000. If the Quest Kodiak had a round gauge version, which I know it doesn't in real life, but I don't know. All right, so here's our route of flight. That's cool. So from here, there's Sao Paulo, right? So we'll hit Sao Paulo. Brazil. Where's Rio? It's up here somewhere, right? There's Rio de Janeiro. All right, so basically we can go up and go to Sao Paulo and then to Rio. That's a short, fun flight. Can do that. Salvador. Where to go from there? See, I have no experience up here. I don't even know what this is up here. Never been out on this part of the... Maybe we cut across, you know? Maybe after Rio, maybe we can cut across, land somewhere over here. Maybe hit up Barbados. And then Barbados... Here we go. Yeah, then we can go from Barbados to Cayman Islands, and Cayman Islands into Miami. Oh, we'll have to see. So many options. So many options. Front row Kenny says, I had a sub on my other account. Hope all is well. Ah, thank you for the sub, man. Welcome aboard. Victoria has a fun approach for runway 5. All right. SBSP ref page on Jebison. Pictures for the runways. Oh, let's take a look. I know we're not going there, but let's take a look. SB... Or SBSP. Let's take a look. Congonas. References. Overview. What are we looking at? There's a nice free scenery for SVMG. All right. Ooh. Sao Paulo. Look at that. You know what? I think we did fly here, right? Is this the one where in my default scenery I had, there's like power lines or something in the way? Is this the one? Yes, it has to be, right? Ooh, this looks fun. We're definitely doing this. Yeah, look at these. That looks fun. Oh, yeah. We're flying in here. What's the minimum altitudes, radar, min sectors here? That's pretty sweet. Oh, yeah. We're going to have to do that. Definitely. Definitely going to do that. An A320 crashed there 12 years. Oh, wow. 12 years ago? Dang. Seems to be a pretty smooth ride. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off as we're climbing out. Let them roam. Wet runway and they didn't come to the stop. Ooh. Rob, you haven't even tried South America yet? 2 years in? Wow. Turks and Caicos to Miami. That's a good one, Rex. I've flown that. I live... our 74 crew did a virtual debrief of a prop plane that took off there and couldn't climb. Wow. I'm gonna have to check it out, Gustavo. What airplane flies on the shuttle service up and down there? Then is it like a 7-3 or an Airbus? Or they fly something smaller. All right, Diego Salo. So that is the airport that we did a go around. I think, right? We came in, we did a go around over the power lines. Will I be streaming the 380 when it comes out? Yeah, of course, man. I will take it from. Maybe we'll do. We'll have to do. Here's what we're gonna do. Give you a little background. We're gonna have to do an A380 flight from Orlando to Philly, because when I was commuting, that was like the most. They would put a 330 on that airplane, and it'd be full with a jump seater. Orlando to Philly was always full. Everyone's going Philly, Orlando, Orlando, Philly. Airways used to put a 330 on that airplane. So that will be our 380 route. Will be Orlando to Philly. Getting ready to get a top of climb here, then we'll set up for cruise. We'll hit the lav and we'll get the iPad out. We'll start investigating our APU problem. Oh, so they bring 700, 800. Oh, they bring all this stuff in there and some E190s. We need a really good E190 for Microsoft. You know what? We really would. It's an airplane that is just. No one has really done. I know they're doing the V2 for X-Plane, but man. That's a big player regional jet, especially in North America. I mean, the 170s, 190s, flying everywhere. And yeah, we had two options in X-Plane that were good models, but that was it. What is the busiest route in the U.S. currently? Man, I don't know. Probably some East Coast top. Couldn't tell you. Max has another stream. Don't you have a real plane to fly? Great stuff. Glad I catch a few. What's up, Max? I have a real plane to fly coming up next week, man. Next week. I was hoping I would get a call today for a day trip that had popped in there, but I didn't get the call, unfortunately. So, but no, I'm good here with you guys. So but I'll be flying next week for sure. I'll get you all caught up. DFW LA is bit. Oh yeah, DC LaGuardia. Probably that. Gustavo's probably right. Probably DC LaGuardia, man. Is someone working on the E-Jet though for Microsoft? I know they were working on it for X-Plane. 170 likes, 190 watching. I'm doing good to get 20 likes and 10 people watching. Love the content, man. I learned also a lot from your streams. Need to do my fam ride with you. Wrong side. That's up, man. Absolutely, dude. I do appreciate y'all hitting the like button. But yeah, Mr. Wrong Side Sim, I got to get you on here, man. I was thinking one of these streams I'd like to have you just on because I want to ask you some questions as far as dispatching and like stuff that I see and be like just got questions, real world questions. I'd love to have you on and do kind of a little in-flight podcast, if you will. But man, good to see you streaming. And you were flying. Where were you flying today? You took off out of Albuquerque. I was watching that, and then I ended up having to get the kids out of the house. But yeah, man, thanks for stopping by. Glad you enjoyed the content, dude. And you got a sweet little setup. I got to say, man, Wrong Side Sim, I mean, he's set up. He's got the lights going. Perfect little man cave going on. Perfect little man cave going on. Flew on a brand new KLM E195 E2. It was really cool. Nice, Danny. Check the Skib RMP 14 approach. All right. I will check it out. Yeah, Black Dog. I think it is very underrated. I don't know why. You know, I would think the 190. I mean, how many CRJs do we have between both sims? You know, everyone wants to do a CRJ and an ERJ. It's like, really? Embraer is way better. All right, we're here in cruise. Seatbelt sign is off. I will put you guys on the outside view for a minute. You guys want to go outside view or inside view? I'm going to hit the lav. I'm going to get my work iPad, and then we're going to do some digging around on this. That is loud. That's one thing I don't like about this outside view. We're going to do some digging around on why our APU is failing when I reset the batteries, even though we're not using APU power. So, not quite sure what's up with that. All right. Let's kick it off with this. I will be right back. Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to hit the lav, and I'm going to get my iPad. Alright. I don't know about this song. 2 peas in a pod, huh? How about now? I don't know if I can do this outside view, man. It's loud. So loud, right? Even at the lowest setting? Unless we go back here, maybe. We can just have it muted, I guess. That's kind of a cool shot. All right, here we go. You guys are making me work today. Let me look at this. We're going to dig into the APU systems, yeah? I miss those Airways 330s. American put them on Philly, LA, SFO regularly. Oh, yeah, Cactus, 1939. Yep. They were a sweet ride for the Transcon. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. What about some Slayer? All right, so we need to figure out why. We need to look at the APU. APU feed. The APU feed, a low tank pump. So, due to loss of tank pumps, AC normally runs on station shed. So I guess, what do I got to look for? APU shutdown or auto shutdown? Or was it an EMR shutdown? No, I think it was a. What if I look under the battery charging test? Battery, blah blah blah. Battery ventilation. That's not that. That's not, I don't want that. Camp held over a question from yesterday. When you put your oxygen mask on, are there microphones? Yes, they're built in to communicate with ATC. Correct. There is a microphone in the mask itself, and then you would hear ATC over the speakers. So that's part of the check. When you do the test, as a matter of fact, I can show you. I just hop into the pit here. When you do the test in real life, right here, this activates, you actually hear it come in over the speaker system, even with the speaker turned off. So that's why you do that test. You should hear it come in. You're activating the mic, and it actually says, should say boom mic on here somewhere. But yeah, there, or not boom mic, but there is a microphone in this mask. And then the way to reset it is to actually do this. So it says press to test and reset. So you reset the microphone when you press that button there. So if you take your mask off and you put your mask back in, if you don't do this, it won't reset your mic. You're like, why can't I hear you? So good question, though. Good question. Marcus, what's up, man? You're never too late. Welcome on board. Can you hear ATC from the voice? Yeah, you can hear him. It sucks. It depends on the airplane, but it sucks. Like, I've had to use the mask twice. Like, legit had to use it, not because someone had left the... It used to be when there was a single pilot up front, you had to put your oxygen mask off above certain altitudes, and now that's all been changed. What's going on here? You guys see this? Hold on, look at this. Look at this double APU-ing thing. Oh, that's just the heat. Or something. The contrail? Weird. So you used to put your mask on when there was only one guy up front. Now you don't have to do that anymore. The FAA changed the rule on that. But the other time I had to use it was a fume event and a smoke event. And when you actually have to communicate with the mask, it sucks, man. You're yelling at each other. So the crew together, you're basically yelling at each other. But for ATC, they can hear you through a microphone. What does it feel like, those masks? They fit fine. They clamp to your face pretty good. If the APU is running in flight, are there 3 contrails? That's a great question. I've asked that before. I would imagine so. I would say there would be. I guess I can neither confirm nor deny, but my initial guess would be yes. I've often wondered that myself. All right, so no, not here. It's not in this one. I don't even know where it would be there. Where it would be. Maybe in like an expanded. So even if I look at the APU emergency shutdown, it does nothing. Master switch off, in op. Automatic shutdown of the APU for a reason other than a fire. So here we go. The APU emergency shutdown triggers when the APU shutoff switch on the external power panel is pushed, which we did not do. APU fire push button is pushed, which we did not do. Or an APU fire on the ground is detected. Those are the only conditions that I have in my book. So none of those happened. So I would be inclined to think that it's a bug, that it's giving us an emergency shutdown when we do the battery check with the APU on. Unless there is something... I thought I saw a note somewhere. So let me look at the battery check. I'm not going to look under APU. I'm going to look for like the battery test. And I'm going to see if there... I thought I read a note a while back about saying make sure you're on ground power. But we were on ground power anyway, so that still wouldn't make sense. But let me see if I can find it here. Let me go to like expanded. I'm not done just yet. Normal procedures. Let's do battery test or battery charge. Preliminary cockpits checks. Oh, hold on. There it was. Go back, go back, go back. Cockpit preparation. Electric. Scan and check there are no amber lights except gen fault lights. Yeah. Battery push button 1 off then on. This action initiates a charging cycle of the batteries. 10 seconds after setting all battery push button switches to on, check on the electric SD page that the current change of battery is below 60 amps and it is decreasing. We did that. Deselect the electric SD when check. If the charge at least one battery is not below 60 amps, wait until end of charging cycle and perform the check again. It says nothing else about that, so maybe I'm losing my mind. So it's got to be a bug. It's got to be a bug. Right, especially if the APU gen is off. Now, I could see, yeah, ground power has priority over the APU. So I could see there being some conflicting situation if I had them turn the dome light on for a little bit in here. We'll brighten it up a tad. So if we were on just APU power only, then you turn the batteries off, battery back on, maybe there's some type of fuel delivery. I still don't even know why that would matter. But I had the APU gen off on ground power, and I did the battery test, and then when I went APU gen on, it shut down. It's got to be a bug. 100% got to be a bug. But, I mean, I haven't found very many bugs like that in the Fenix, so I'm having a hard time just saying it is a bug, but I'm curious. Maybe I'll have to ask Amir or somebody in the Discord, someone who knows more than me, because it's puzzling. It's happened more than once. I don't know. Argentina ops, we need to send a delay code. Meh. Fix your APUs, do some maintenance. Let's go ahead and straighten the line here. Let's go direct to DIL. We'll cut the line here. Boom. Insert. Insert. Oh yeah, that's the juice right there. Sam, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to hear it, Javier. You solved the problem? Oh, look at this shot. That's kind of cool. DFG, what's up? V1 recently, when I'm on a flight, I see the pilot standing in the galley a little bit before pushback. Why does the pilot sometimes go into the galley? Probably to take a leak, man. I'll wait till the very end of boarding and then take a leak. Sorry, but you were the last one to touch it, so you broke it. Exactly. I don't know what happened there, man. It has to be. It has to be a bug. Getting coffee. That's another one, too. Could be getting coffee, getting some snacks. Gotta do what you gotta do, man. When will you be making your Fenix 320 tutorial series? When I get more time, man. I am so strapped on time right now. It's unbelievable. Like, It's just absolutely crazy, and I can't really tell you what's taking up all my time right now. Just some stuff at home, because we really don't know yet exactly what's going on, but I don't know. The other thing, too, is I kind of wanted to wait for the IE engines to come out, but I'm probably not. The thing with making tutorial vids is, like, you know, I can record a rough recording in, I don't know, what, 30 minutes or so, but then it's going to take hours to do a nice final edit, final cut, make sure everything is good, and then I got to upload it. So to do that, it's probably going to take 2 days at least of me being in the office if I want to make them high quality. And if I have 2 days to be at the office, I want to stream with you guys. I want to get more content out there, but I do realize a lot of you want to see the tutorials, especially the Remastered Professional series, which I am 100% going to do. It's literally right there on top of the priority list with doing more podcasts, so it'll be there. Best 320 livery in your opinion? U.S. Airways. I don't know. There's a couple good ones. Airways is just classic to me, man. Yeah, they take a lot more time, Danny. A lot more time. Jeremy says, so as you go from batteries to ground power to APU to engines, does the Airbus have a priority logic reach source automatically? Yes, it does, Jeremy. The priority logic is very nice on the Airbus. It basically will always protect you. So on the ground, the GPU has priority. So the reason the GPU has priority, let's say you're on APU power and ground power and the APU falls offline, the GPU will pick up. Now the opposite is true. If the GPU were to drop offline and the APU was running, APU will automatically pick up the load. And then it's the on-side engine, and then it's the cross-side engine generator. Basically, any way you can fail the electrical power, it's designed so that a generator will pick up the load correctly, and it will prevent two simultaneous sources from powering the aircraft at the same time. Gear B, yeah. Generator, external power, AP, what is it, APU? No, hold on. The gear, that is the acronym. I forget what the acronym, I forget what it means now. See, too much acronyms going on here. Where is that? I had a cheat sheet for some electrical stuff. I'm trying to see if it was on there too. Resources. Man, you guys got me digging deep into the books today. Under electrical. Generators, external power, APU, RAT. It's the RAT. Yeah, it's a RAT, and then batteries. So generators, external power, APU, RAT, batteries. That is the priority logic. I forgot all about that. That's what it is, RAT. I can't find what I was looking for. Jessica, what's up? Are you sure it's not too much bourbon? It might have been. Who knows? Might have been. It's actually getting darker faster than I thought it was going to get. How are we looking for 320 miles out? We're looking real good. Time of arrival is 22:10 sim time. Time now is 21:25 sim time. So about 30 minutes to touchdown. We'll probably start looking at our approach. Looking good. Ooh, let's enjoy some of this. I don't know. It might be kind of fun to let it get dark and do the approach in with all the city lights on. That might be pretty fun. I think we're gonna have to do that. How's the Starlink coming along? Starlink is actually pretty good, man. I'm using it a lot at the house, but I just haven't, because I've got the office space still rented. I'll move all my stuff back. I don't know if it would handle the stream. I really don't. You know, I've done some test stream of some other stuff, just like some other games I could find on the computer, but I don't know if it would handle an actual stream. It would be interesting to try. Procedural question. Is this still required for pilots or FOs to go on oxygen if the other pilot leaves the flight deck to use the lav? No, Tony, not in the U.S. anymore. It used to be. It used to be above like 30,000 feet or I think it was 30,000, flight level 300. I can't remember what I thought it was 30, somewhere in the low 30s. If you were above that, if one pilot left the station or their cruise station, the remaining pilot would have to put on the oxygen mask. And that was a rule for years, and then they've recently changed it. So now it's, I think it's like it's something that doesn't apply to us anymore. I think it's like in the 40s now. Definitely enough bandwidth, but I think there would still be some disconnects, Chaos, like you're saying. I think you're right. So I'm curious, are you, as the pilot, in charge of maintaining the FTL and max FTP per day, per week, and per month, or does the company have a team to help assist? James, so both, really. At the end of the day, the FAA is going to say, well, you should be keeping track of your own stuff. So I keep track of mine. And we have apps and stuff. We have like a crew app. FC View is pretty common here in the US. It's called Flight Crew View. Basically, it syncs to your schedule. And it loads like your whole duty day, right? It shows your duty day, shows the limits. Because it is, you know, with Part 117, what I mean by Part 117 is after the Colgan air crash in Buffalo, that Q400, the FAA came out and reset like rest rules and stuff. It was part of that. So now crew rest and crew duty is based on quote-unquote science. And it's very convoluted in how long a flight crew member can be on duty, what counts as duty, what counts as a flight duty day, what counts as flight duty period, what is flight time versus duty time. But yes, I keep track of my own with the aid of apps, like our Flight Crew View app, and the company also keeps track of it. So most of the time I'll have a scenario where the company will actually, when you start getting close to a duty period, they'll notify you, say, hey, do you want to extend or not, or what's the deal? And then you can either accept an extension or not. But that doesn't happen too often unless you're basically living in South Florida in the summertime. Then it happens all the time because it's just Florida and thunderstorms all the time. But it does happen, and if you were to accidentally fly without with violating your flight duty day, the FAA ultimately is going to come to you and be like, why didn't you keep track of it? So, Tony Johns, welcome back to Private Pilot, my friend, gifting 5 more subs out. That is fantastic. Tony Johns, thank you so much, man, for the support on the channel. Guys, if you picked up a gifted subscription from Tony Johns, make sure you say a thank you to him. Looks like we got Gustavo, Jeremy, 310 Flyer, Cam 5280, and Critical Inception. Awesome. Good to have you guys on as new gifted members. Exclamation point. Welcome here in chat for you guys. Get you some information on that. Ooh.
Salad?
Thank you. Oh, you got a salad?
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. All right, got lunch delivered. That's always a good sign. What do we have today? Oh, wow. It's a hell of a salad. Is she trying to tell me something? Just give me a salad. What does that mean? What if I wanted a sandwich? Haven't had too many thunderstorms in South Florida lately. Blueback, I said that, and at the same time I was kind of thinking, it's been kind of quiet, hasn't it? It's been kind of quiet this year. There's been a couple, no doubt, but it's definitely, I think last year was just horrendous. I remember, I think when August, was it last year I took all of August off? I think so. I had gotten so frustrated from flying through thunderstorms all summer long. The month of August came around, I just said, I'm done. Basically dropped everything. I think I flew maybe a trip or something. That was it. I was like, I'm done. I'm just so wore out. This is a tough time of year to fly for me mentally because I'm so excited for fall, but August is like the fake fall. You might get a day here and there where you think, oh, fall's coming, and then you realize, no, it's still 110 degrees and there's towering thunderstorms up to 60,000 feet and get back to work. So, but this year has been relatively mild. What happens if you timed out while flying? Captain Solis, sometimes you just have to go back to the gate. Depending on what caused you to time out, you would have to return to the gate. And the flight would cancel, they'd have to get a new crew, which I'm sure if you guys are frequent flyers, you may have had that scenario happen to you where, hey, the crew timed out, they got to go to be released to rest. They're not legal to fly anymore. Who's calling me? Big Spring, Texas. No idea even where that is. I've been getting my butt kicked with weather as an air traffic controller for a couple months now. Alpha Mike. Yeah, you guys definitely get squeezed down when the weather rolls in. I can hear it in y'all's voices, man. You guys, like, props to the air traffic controllers, though. When the weather moves in, and those controllers, they get busy, man. They get busy. Because the pilots get pissed. They're like, what? We got to go to this? Why do we have to do this departure? Why can't we release yet? Why are you doing 20 in trail? So the pilots start getting snippy, and the controller's like, man, I got like 50 airplanes, so I'm trying to fit through like a 5-mile corridor. You turn in a pumpkin, right? Yeah, Jason's correct. Depending on what limit. So you have they have like a duty day limit, which can be extended, or a flight duty period, and then you have a flight time limit that cannot be extended. So that it depends on where, and they're based off of different things. You know, one is basically when does you start the day, what's your report time, and what time do you duty off? 30 minutes after you set the parking brake on the last flight. And then flight time is the actual time in the aircraft, or block time. So when the wheels roll on pushback to the last shutdown. So that's block time. And you have different limits for both of those depending upon what time you started the day and how many segments you're flying in that day. So just from me saying that, you can kind of understand how it's actually a very, very complex formula that you have to look at for timing out or running out of flight time. Jeremy says, we are on a well at our house and we live in a wooded area, so when the power goes out because something takes power line, we also lose water also. Ooh, Jeremy, yeah. I hear you, man. We're on a well as well. We're on a well as well. But yeah, if the power goes out, we have a reserve tank that's kind of like, does like a kind of a gravity feed, so I can get some water. But yeah, if it's out for extended periods of time, could have issues. The pump will go out, obviously, because it's electric. All right, we should probably take a look. We're probably getting close. Oh, that is beautiful. Screenshot. How are we looking? We are 242 miles out. Let's listen to one more good song. I don't want to listen to this song, but we gotta watch the sunset here. This is a moment here for Flight Sim. Let me back off the window just a tad. Oh, actually, you know what? I need to turn the cabin lights off. We gotta watch. We're gonna enjoy this sunset here. Not panel state. Sim settings. Cabin lights off. Beautiful. Let's come back here. We got to enjoy this. This feels like we're back on the Asia Pacific theme here. Let me find a good song. I don't know if this is a good one or not. You're on a well too, Blue Mac, but the Generac saves the day. Oh yeah, gotta have a Generac. This is nice. I actually want to back the time up so we don't land at night. I don't know, should we land at night and just look at the city of Buenos Aires at night? Dim the dome lights. Oh yeah, we'll do that too. Oh, are you asking me if I dim them during night takeoff? I turn them off, Gustavo. Yeah, night takeoffs. Basically, anything at night. My personal way of doing it is after give the tug tow and a salute, ground crew. Then I kill the dome light. Just go dark the whole time. Land at night. Always have a replay. Very good. You're right, Rex. That's one thing that I enjoy about the replay that I use. I guess replay in Microsoft. I guess you can do it in different replays. But with my particular replay system, you can adjust the time to whatever you want for the replay, which is kind of cool. I know in X-Plane, it would always go to what you landed at. Oh, this is cool. We're watching the sunset off there. We'll look at the monkeypox on the window too. Don't get too close. This song is called Illuminated Window, which I think is fitting since we're watching an illuminated window here from the sun. Look at the sun setting. How many likes we got? You got to smash the like button for this. I think we... Oh, geez. We got more likes than viewers already. You guys are freaking awesome. Love every single one of you, man. Thank you. This is a moment right here. Look at the sun setting. Why, when flaps extend during approach, it only goes flaps 1, flaps 0? Call me 6. That's just the way that the airplane is designed. So when you're in flight, when you extend flaps 1, you get slats 1, flap 0. The leading edge devices provide a ton of lift, a ton of additional lift, and not so much drag. So it really, you know, you'd have to kind of look at an Airbus. You have to talk to an Airbus engineer about like the actual differences and why, but you're getting a lot more lift with just slats. So it's a nice buffer without getting the flaps extended first. So it's just the way they designed it. When do you normally flare on landing? Anywhere between 30, 20. Well, when you actually flare, oh, there goes the sun. Last little sliver of sun. Wait for the flash. Start to flare around 20 feet probably in real life. 30 feet, the airplane takes a snapshot of the attitude and starts trimming down. So you feel like you get that conventional landing. Oh, wow, that's cool. And there it goes. That was epic. Illuminated window with a flickering shadow would be more appropriate. Jeez. That was cool. That was a beautiful sunset. It's gone. All right, we need to start doing some work here. "204 miles out." Yes, we do. We'll let this song end, and then we're going to do some work. God, I love that wing. The Phoenix wing, 10 for 10, man. I didn't think anything could beat. I didn't think anyone could beat the PMDG. I think Phoenix has them beat. Look at the textures on that. I mean, that looks real. The way it's kind of like just reflections, man. Question: if you upgrade to captain of a major airline, will you forever stay as a captain, even if you change aircraft type? No, Martin Smith. It depends solely on your seniority at the base that you're in and the aircraft that you're in. So a narrow body captain may not even be able to hold a wide body captain slot. It's actually very common. So you'll see narrow body captains, they'll jump up to like FOs on a wide body. And then, you know, so a senior FO on a wide body can hold a captain on maybe 3 other different aircraft types, but not the wide body. It all depends, and it also depends on which base you're in too. You may be able to hold a captain seat in DFW, but if you go to LA, you can't hold the captain seat because your seniority doesn't hold it. So it's very dependent. All right, let's pause the music. Let's start prepping for the approach. All right, let's bring the range down a little bit here. Turn you guys back up. Let's go. Constraint mode is on. All right, Jorge Newbery, arrival. Runway 31 arrivals. GBE, where are we going to? PTA, where are we actually headed to right now? Dill, Kaleem, Gabe. All right, so that looks good. 210 knots max. All right, let's look at the approach, the NDB. Here's the runway. So we're land on 31 northwest bound. That's good. 7,000 feet available for landing. NDB 31. We want to be over the VOR at 2. I'm sorry, the VOR. I keep saying VOR. NDB at 2,000. So let's come over here to the flight plan. And let's go down to ILM. Let's make sure. Let's make it a hard altitude. Let's make it at 2,000 feet. Insert. And let's also make it Let's put a speed on there. Let's do 180 at 2,000. We'll insert that. Let's go ahead and send off a weather request as well while we're down here. SABE. Get a new one. We'll send you off. Perf. Next phase for the descent. We're not going to do 342 knots. We'll do 79 and 330 knots. It's been pretty smooth today. 79, 330 is set. Next phase. Doing both jobs here. Doing both jobs. Receive messages. James, what's up, man? Welcome back to Commercial Pilot, my friend. Welcome back, my friend. Variable at 8 knots, so we'll just put 0 for 0 in there. What the hell? Cavote conditions, temperature 16. Alright, let's take a look at night charts. Ooh. Minimums for us. Straight in MDA. Excuse me. 840. Remember, MDA is must-do additions. So we got to add 50 feet, so we're going to call that 890. 890 in the barrow. We're also going to do some hard tuning. I should have cleared out NEU earlier. The NDB is Kilms. Am I saying that right? ILM, or 210. ILM. The one that's 141 miles away. Cool. We'll actually hard tune it on both sides. So if we're basically looking at bearing pointers on this one. This is blast from the past, man. Turn off VOR1. We're not even picking up ADF2 yet. Well, actually, we're gonna actually have to have bearing pointers up. This is cool. All right, I'm gonna leave mine on VOR just so it looks normal for me right now. We'll have ADF2 on. I'm gonna give this guy both ADFs. Doesn't matter. It's the same NDB, so really not going to make much of a difference. Let's see if we can come down. So that's at 2,000. I guess, yeah, we'll just set 2 at the bottom, huh? 20 miles from TOD. We'll set, I'm going to set 10,000 initially so we can slow below 250. I got 10,000 set in the FCU. Let's run some landing numbers. Kilms is also a famous beer from Argentina. Nice. What's going on here? I keep clicking the wrong thing. There we go. What is our gross weight? Our gross weight is 132,400 pounds. 1324. Oop, that's 124. That could make a big difference. 1324. Check. Let's do runway 31. Dry. Apply METAR. Ooh. Ooh. We're going to do medium brakes, max reverse, auto thrust on, flaps full, manual landing. Not a lot of room to mess around there. We need 5,300. We're heavy. We're not 132.4. Really? Our takeoff and landing distance? Well, I guess that makes sense with our additive. 6,100 feet. So we're looking at 6,184 feet. Available is 72,000. So we only got about a 1,000-foot buffer there towards the end. So this is definitely a no floaty coming down here. That looks good. Our landing data has been completed. Bring this back up. You know what? To simplify things, why don't we go direct to... Should we go direct to the VOR now? Let's go ahead and start the descent. Listen to the engines roll back. Gustavo says, my brother was flying with an old fella on the 350 and the guy insisted to keep the dome light on dim for takeoff. The reason was in case of an EFTO you would have visual clues. What do you, but wouldn't you have visual clue with the light off? Or you mean... I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Because, like, what more are you going to see with the dome light on dim? I mean, you got all the lights on outside. I don't know, man. I've heard of guys doing that, though, too, you know? Now that you bring it up, I think I've heard of guys doing that. Man, that bass is rolling back. Love it. According to my brother, the captain said that it will jump into BRG in case of EF2. Hi. Ooh, that's loud. Makes no sense to me, but if it made sense to him, I guess it's all that matters, I guess. Alright, let's go direct to the VOR. Insert. Alright, so for this NDB approach, we can fly this as a final app strategy, so we're going to basically fly it like we flew the VOR in app nav. What's happening? Why are we turning left? Alright. Oh, we got a 67 knot quartering tailwind. Nice. The FO, though, we will be verifying with raw data on the FO. We don't have an APU, so we got to let ground ops know that we're going to need that on the ground. And we're going to do auto brakes medium for this one as well. Auto brakes medium, flaps full reverse. No floaties down there. Kind of want to back the time up just a little bit, but we always have replay to back it up, right? So, guess you're right. We'll get a little bit fast there. Watch the speed there, boss, man. What the hell's going on with that? That's why I don't like coming down 340 knots. Gustavo, yeah. An old wives' tale. Cooperate and graduate. Exactly. That's what we say around here in the schoolhouse. Cooperate, graduate. When you get out on the line, you got to do what you got to do. Why are we going 6,000 feet a minute to catch a vertical profile here? This Phoenix is ripping down. Here we go. Now it's got it. These old birds, man. Struggling. All right. We're back on profile. We're coming down. I'm going to turn the wing light on early because I want to see what's going on outside. A little bit more juice. Oh, yeah. That's the juice right there. I'm actually kind of curious to see now what it's going to look like at night. I'm like 49% of me wants to run the time back about an hour, but 51% of me wants to just kind of fly in at night, and then we can always watch the replay in the daytime. Late to the party, what I missed? Steven, what's up, man? Well, you missed an APU emergency shutdown at the gate, so we had to do a ground air start. We had to do a cross-bleed start. We tried to find out why it would happen the way it did. We determined that it was a bug, and now we're landing at night in Buenos Aires on an airport that's 7,000 feet long. So it should be fun. That's scary. And I have the scenery down there, so it should look pretty good. Evening landing, daytime replay. Cosmic, what's up, man? Absolutely. It's Cosmic, so now you see why I sent you those pictures, right? I was trying to beat a hailstorm last night. I looked at the radar, and there's this massive thunderstorm coming. So I'm like, oh my god, I don't have enough time to take the thumbnail, but I just sent the pictures to you. Steven, yep, we're going into a SABE. Jorge Newbery. Do they call it Jorge Newbery? Is that what it's referred to? How do you say garbage in Spanish? How do you say? Hey, do I have Siri on? How to say garbage in Spanish?
Basura.
What?
Basura.
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 Basura. So we're flying into La Basura. La Basura. Sunset replay? Rab, we'll do it. We'll do a sunset replay, and we'll do a full-time kind of like daytime replay so you can really see the city as well. I can see it on the horizon. La Basura. I might have to turn the lights off in my office. I've got like this really bright... Matter of fact, let me do that. Hold on. Because that might make it easier for me to see the screens. Oh yeah, much better, much better. Now I can actually see what's going on. I have this big giant fluorescent light bulb right above my monitor, courtesy of the V1HQ. Landing at night is a little bit challenging with that on my screen. Ask her for Ushaya. Usawia? All right, let me look that up. I need to have an Argentina steak with fine Argentinian wine. Ooh. Making me hungry, man. I got a salad. You're talking about steak, and I got a salad over here I got to eat. That's awful. Maybe I should have married my Argentinian girlfriend from high school. Maybe she would have brought me a steak. Just kidding. Hope she's not listening. Pronounce that A more, I think. Ayushaya. You heard Argentinian steak is good? I heard it's good too, man. I've seen some pictures of it too. Does your office neighbors have any clue what you do in there? Romulus? No, yes, no, depends. I don't know. It's pretty quiet. A lot of them moved out after the renovation, so for those last couple months there was a lot of renovation going on. Pretty much everybody's moved out except one guy that I know, but he's hardly ever here. He does like some water for the city or something, so he only comes in random occasion. And then there's somebody else that is here. So they're a psychiatrist, actually. Argentinian steak is awesome, but the wine must be from Chile. This is where I'm. Here's the thing, guys. Legit, this is no joke. So I've got vacation in September. I say vacation. I have vacation time, so I bid for vacation time. So I got a week off paid from work, and I have a few more days as well. We were going to do something here in the States, but I am a legit. Like yesterday, we're looking at flights, thinking about what we could do South America. I think it's a little not enough time to go all the way down to Ushuaia or Balmaceda, but Rio and Argentina might be definitely in the cards. So, Gravgar, what's up, man? I know. I really hope. I hope so. Hope she doesn't. Yeah, Front Row Kenny, exactly. So basically, I started the streaming in my home, as almost every other YouTuber does, but I ended up moving homes, and the internet was not sufficient. I moved way out into the country. Oh, wow, this is the view right here. Moved way out into the sticks, and tried streaming. Didn't work out, man. It was not going to be sustainable with the internet that I had. So my choices were I could give up the V1 channel, or I could find another way of getting content, and renting an office was actually, believe it or not, was actually my wife's idea. So all credit goes to her for keeping the channel alive. Found an office, been streaming from that, call it the V1 HQ. Recently was sold, the building was sold, went under renovation. They doubled our rent, so kind of sucks, but still in the green for the V1 HQ. If you go to Argentina with US dollars, you'll be treated like a king. Very interesting. Maybe I should go then. Rio de Janeiro is a quagmire for non-revenue. Beware. Really? Oh yeah, I wouldn't non-rev, Gustavo. I'm 5.5, 6 years of commuting. Anytime I need to go somewhere now, I would just buy a ticket. I'm done with it. Unless I'm going by myself, I'm gonna jump seat somewhere for something small. But especially with kids, if we take kids, no, I don't even entertain the idea of non-revving. It's non-revving used to be totally legit, but every year it got harder and harder and harder. Now it's almost impossible to non-rev anywhere, especially if you have more than 2 in your party. So I would just buy a ticket for sure. Rex, you remember the PowerPoint live streams? I sure do, man. There was a couple that were just awful PowerPoint streams. We had one stream where I'll never forget, Flight Factor. I think we were doing Vegas to John Wayne, and I started the stream, and my internet, because it was a satellite to radio tower. I don't know, it was an airwave source. I don't even remember what it's called. Terrible, and I could tell it, but it would vary day to day. So when I would hit the go live button, I could tell right away if it was going to be a stream that was viable or a stream that was going to be a PowerPoint. And this day was just the worst ever. Dropped frames like you couldn't believe. Literally a PowerPoint slideshow. And I was like, all right, guys, I'm just going to end the stream right here. And you guys, I think the Dimitri was there, and a lot of you were there for that one. And somebody super chat is like, no, we want to see you keep going. We don't care. We just want to hear what you have to say about short runway ops or whatever. And then someone else super chatted, someone donoed, someone's like, it's like, really? You guys really want me to go through with this? And we sure did. It was probably the worst presentation, probably the worst presented stream on YouTube to date for anybody, but it's one of the most memorable for me because it was at that point where I realized I can't just pull the plug on the whole V1 thing. I got to find a way to come around. So. Crap benefit. Yeah, it is, Gustavo. 100%, man. That stream was basically a live podcast. It was, man. It was legit. Live podcast. All right, here's 10,000 feet. We don't have any ATC. Let's get all the lights on. Taxi lights coming out. Nose lights are coming out. Everything is good. Forward call. Ding dong. We're through 10. We're going to be speeding here most likely. Let's go spoid brakes. Select 250. Let's get some spoid brake action out. Let's bring up the tiller cam. Spoid brakes are out. I'm coming through 10,000 feet. Select 250 in the window here. Let me get the recorder ready as well. So I use Flight Recorder. You guys ask me all the time. I got to get a link to it. But mine it's a free replay tool. It's just called Flight Recorder. And I still stand by that it is the best option for replays on your sim. Because let's say you're doing a replay and all of a sudden your sim crashes, it automatically temporarily saves the recording. So you could just reboot your sim, reload the airplane, and then go into replay mode. So that's huge. You can adjust the time of day during replay, which I think you can probably do that with any replay tool. But it makes it really easy to use, and you can speed up, slow down. It's an awesome record tool, just called Flight Recorder. I believe it's right off the Flight Sim TO. It's a free replay button. Rab, you just started using Flight Recorder. I'm loving it. Yeah, and it works. The PMDG works flawlessly with Flight Recorder. The Fenix works good. The only thing the Fenix does is if you let it go into reverse and your spoilers deploy, you'll have spoilers out the whole replay. But the Fenix the PMDG is pretty much perfect with the replay. Everything works in replay. The fly-by-wire, everything works other than your engine sounds. You got to kind of have to manipulate the thrust levers if you want to have engine sounds. And the BAE 146 works flawlessly with it as well. So check it out if you want a replay tool. I know there's multiple ones out there. I think there's some payware ones, and you can use the dev mode one. Oh shoot, we got to descend to 3,000. I know we said 2. Let's just see where this goes. We'll go down to 5,000. Oh, this is cool. Let's go XP view as we come into Buenos Aires. Look at this. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I'm officially naming this view as XP view instead of GoPro view, because I think XP calls it the GoPro view. I'm calling it the XP view. Usually around October is the best time for the majority of southern South America. Usually not warm and not cold. Totally recommend October, March. Good to know, Gustavo. Good to know, man. I would check it out. Oh, wow. I've never seen the Throttletek cam at night with it dark in my office. That looks pretty sick. Nice blue lights on the Throttletek. So it is also backlit. If I can press the button. So you can see the throttle. Where is it? It's down here somewhere. So you can see it's backlit. But yeah, I do have LED lights as well, but I've never seen it with the dark in the office before. That's kind of cool looking. Spoilers are weird on PMDG flight. The other Jason on Flight Recorder, if your spoilers will stay up, all you have to do is re-trigger them here manually during the replay, and they'll go down. And then you can watch the replay again with them down. So yeah, on the PMDG, when the spoilers come up on your rollout during replay, when you rewind it back, they'll still be up, but all you have to do is cycle your speed brakes during the replay, and it'll stow the speed brakes so you can watch it again without anything popped up. It's pretty neat. My pension wouldn't stretch such extravagance. Hey man. We don't even get pensions in the U.S. anymore. It's crazy. Robbed a lot of guys from that. That was a big deal for a lot of pilots. Blase Green, what's up, man? It says, hey, V1. Finished up a ramp training today, but I'm sitting here at Charlotte. Got to wait 2 hours for my flight home. Nice. I'm grateful that's only 2 hours because I've heard worse. That's awesome, man. Blase Green, congrats on getting your ramp training done. You're working out there with Shaq Oatmeal. Shaquille Oatmeal is out there in Charlotte, I believe. Oh, wow. Look at this view, man. This is cool. What's a pension? TCAS incoming. I saw that guy on TCAS there momentarily. Speed alt star. Let's go ahead and slow it up. Let's do 210. And let's do 2000. Open descent. Thrust idle open descent. You can see we've picked up the NDB now. If I go to my VOR mode, the green needle is ADF2, which is ILM NDB. You can see we are tracking direct to the ILM NDB. So because we're doing this as a final lap approach, we don't even need to have that up on this screen. You are successfully considered monitoring raw data when you have the ADF needle displayed. You don't even have to go to Rose VOR or Rose Nav at all. We do not need our LS push buttons, and everything else is looking good. We're at VFE next -10. Let's extend flaps 1, shall we? Shaq Oatmeal in the house. What's up, Shaq? Good to see you, man. Ramper in the old CLT. Alright, we got to pay attention to what we're doing. Let's get the sim sounds up a little bit more. We'll juice it up. This is nice. Urgy, what's up, man? Welcome. Now, theoretically, if I select approach mode, haha, we have alt final app nav. Let me get a little bit more speed brake here. I want to get down and slow down at the same time. Kind of hard to do. So we've got final blue app nav, VFE next -10, flaps 2. Getting a little bit high. Let's go ahead and push you in. 1019 now on the barrels are set. Status, clear status. APU is in op. We're aware of that. 800 feet to level off. We're going to go ahead and start the recording as soon as we level here at 2,000 feet. Radio altimeter alive. Check. Flicks, you're in the back for landing. Perfect, man. Look at that. 2,500 feet a minute, below 2,500 feet. Less than a minute to live. Don't like that. Recording is on. Speed out star. 180 knots. Let's activate and confirm the approach. Verify that it is done. Activate and confirmed. Flaps full. Medium brakes. We're looking good. Wow. That looks freaking awesome. My goodness. I don't even know. I mean, we should be paying attention, but this just looks too damn good. Are you kidding me? Alright. Alright, here is the brick. Come on, give me a final lap. I guess there's the stick at FO31. That is our descent point. So we've got the brick and the stick. Technically, I believe that should be in blue. I think that should be in blue. But we're 180 knots, flaps 2, 180. You guys ask me all the time, when do you go flaps, when do you go gear down, blah, blah, blah. Flaps 2, 180 knots, 2,000 feet above the touchdown zone. Our touchdown zone today is 16 feet, so basically sea level. So we are in a perfect position to be stable by 1,000 feet. All we have to do is manage the speed so it slows down to VAP, and we'll configure our flaps and gear on schedule. So manage speed, gear down, flaps come out at VFE next -10, and you're going to be golden all the way down. Best city landing of the tour. It is. I think this is the biggest city landing of the tour so far. Yeah, so we've been oohing and on about terrain this whole time, but now it's going to be some nice city approaches. Exactly, Rev. I can enjoy the sim and then enjoy the sights and then worry about flying. Yep. So I think our airport's right up there. We're going to start the turn. How loud is this outside? Watch your ears. Oh, that's cool. Come on, it's going to start the turn here pretty soon. Look at the moon. There we go, in the turn. Maximum juice right there, folks. There's the runway. All right, maximum juice. Turn up the sounds. Here we go. Let's pay attention to landing. There's final lap. Here we go. Manage speed. Gear down. Speed brakes armed. Final lap. VFE next -10 flaps 3. We got someone head on with us. This is not good. We might have to go around. Jorge Newbery traffic.
KLM 56 en senda de planeo para aterrizar en pista 11, liberar
Next
pista,
-10
por
flaps
favor.
full. Never turn the seatbelt sign back on. Might have to do a go around here. Is he landing head on with us? I believe he is. What's the missed approach procedure? Climbing right turn, intercept outbound FDO. 14-4. Rip. This may not turn out well.
Argentina 1764, ¿me copia?
Sí, en 1764, pero entiendo que vos estás en Ezeiza, yo estoy en Aeroparque.
Level off at 1,000 and circle?
No, estoy aterrizando
Yo.
en Aeroparque.
Entendido, Aeroparque no tiene pista 1-1.
They're not speaking English. I don't know what's happening.
1-3.
Rodando
Perdón.
hasta el punto de espera de la pista 3.
This is not gonna good. This is not gonna be good.
La pista opuesta, perdón.
Oh boy. We'll execute the go around. I guess we can do a go around from intermediate altitude.
1-3 por aterrizar.
All right, let's go around.
Gracias. Disculpas por la
100 above.
Mantoga SRS nav. Go around flaps. Positive rate. Gear up. I'm gonna come right back into climb. 1,000 feet to level off. Thrust climb SRS nav. Jorge Newbery traffic, Argentina 357 going around 3-1. Flaps 1, speed checks. Flaps 1. Speed alt star, 2,000 in the level off. Flap 0 F takeoff checklist. Speed checks, flap 0 F takeoff check. Speed out. Why would he be landing 1-1? It's 15 knot winds. All right, we'll reset. We're gonna select speed. Come up to 240.
No veo a nadie en final de pista.
Let's try it again. Come around to 360. Maintain 2,000. Jorge Newbery traffic, Argentina 357 going around. Is my mic? Oh, you know what? My push to talk is not working. Rip. My push to talk was not working. Rip. All right, we'll spin it all the way around.
Estoy pegando más que todavía falta.
Jorge Newbery traffic, Argentina 357 going around off 3-1. We're circling back for right traffic 3-1, Newbery. All right, let's go ahead and clean it up.
LM56 pista liberada.
Activate, confirm the approach phase again. Minimums are set. Let's take it back out. I guess we can extend the line off of FDO.
Gracias a Argentina 1764.
Doesn't show it in there. That's interesting. Oh, there it is. DME 16. 16 is the final, right? So we're going to clean it up here. We'll do it off DME 16. So we're going to go direct to DME 16, radial in 134, insert that, pull heading. All right, we've extended the line, we're cleaned up, we're back around. I'm going to leave the autopilot, I'm going to leave the recording on so we can watch it. 150 is fine, I guess, 145. Oh, well, you get to see more of the city. Party followers all around here at Aero Park. Is it Aero Park? Is that what you call it? Where's Aero Park? Ah.
Flybondi, vamos a disfrutar su aterrizaje.
I know there's like 3 runways really close to each, or 3 airports pretty close to each other out here, right? That's all right. No, we are Aero Park. That's where we're landing, right? Jorge Newbery Aero Park. All right, so I'll call it Aero Park. All right, let's go ahead and come right back to 180. We're going to keep this one tight. Matter of fact, screw it. Let's do it manually. Manage speed. Autopilot off. Flight director's off. Give me the bird. Give me the birds in chat. Let's do this. I'm going to go manual thrust as well. Auto thrust off. That's me. I double clicked it. Clear auto thrust. Clear auto thrust. APU. Clear status. Clear status. Here we go. Let's try it again. That's altitude. That's me. Oh, my, oh no. Oh no, my background fell. Let's start slowing down now. There's VFE next minus 10, flaps 1. We're 1,500 feet. We're doing this the Argentinian way, man. Just fly it. No automation necessary. Got all these nice peripherals, might as well put them to test. VFE next minus 10, flaps 2. Maintain 1,500. Ooh, this will be a nice, going right by the city again. Still a little bit lower than I wanted to be, I guess. 160 knots, 1,500 feet. Here comes the brick. Runways in sight. Aero Park traffic, Argentina 357, final 3-1. You called for the circling. Reason for go around? Because somebody was landing with a 15 knot tailwind. All right, here we go. Gear down. VFE next minus 10, flaps 3. I can see the Pappies out there, so we're good. That RNAV brings you down a little bit lower than the Pappies. VFE next minus 10, flaps full, landing checklist. Cabin crew advised, auto thrust. Speed. Oh, actually, disregard. It's off. ECAM memo, landing gear down 3 green, spoilers armed, seatbelts on, clear to land. Is he going around, or did he take off? Whoa, watch your speed there, boss. Yeah, replay's been going since the first one. Be a long replay.
Minimum.
Runway inside landing. That looks pretty awesome down there, though. Nice little crosswind. We're looking good on speed. Man, there's some cranes down there right off the nose.
500.
They look pretty high. Got her locked in now. Remember, we do not want to float this puppy out.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
That one's going to be a firm one, but we don't want to be messing around. Spoilers. Reverse screen. 70 knots. Manual brakes. Oh, look at that. We make the exit right here. Beautiful. Stow 'em. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Aero Park. 176? Hey, I'll take that. For a South American LaGuardia. Now the real question is, where are the terminals? Over here. Alright, cool. We'll go ahead and stop the replay, because that's a long one. That's going to be a fun replay. I will not reconfigure, because we're just going to go right into replay mode. We'll leave the lights on. Ah, what the hell, it's too fun not to. Here we go. Beep, beep. We'll just turn those off and the strobe. How's that? We made it. We made it. Welcome to Cleveland. Alright, now which one of you suckers made me go around? Alright, we're going to take, these are kind of interesting lead-in lines here. This is going to be an interesting turn. Don't want to go nose to nose with him, so let's go ahead and crank it over here. Pretty sure you don't want to park this way, or else the line would be the other direction. But hey, we're an American in South America. What do you expect from me, man? Just got to fulfill the stereotype. Let's get her straight. Oh, I see some MD-80 spots on there. That's pretty cool. Oh! Ooh, that was a hard one right there. Brakes are set. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Let's go ahead and extend flaps back to full. Let's watch the replay. Was there somebody landing? Let's take a look. Oh, he's getting ready to taxi out. Oh, he's getting ready to taxi out. Beautiful. All right, let's do this. Let's put you into replay mode. Let's make sure sail is not playing. Let's go ahead and disconnect from VATSIM. I heard the guys that make the Cat 3 design tiller aren't making it anymore since they were a group of furloughed pilots. Correct. That is correct, Wrong Side Sim. I do not believe they are making them any longer. So, unfortunately, kind of SOL on that. Kind of SOL on that, indeed. All right, let's resume replay. Zoom forward here. Let's just watch the go-around until the lights come back. Oh, son of a gun. You guys didn't tell me to get the lights back on. let's watch the go around. So let's pretend we were a passenger and we're just chilling here. Boost up the sim. Because that was actually a pretty good intermediate go around. So if you watch the stream back, you'll notice we only had 1,000 feet to level off, so it's pretty quick. If you stay in Toga, the airplane is going to just rip through that 2,000 foot restriction. So I went to Toga to sequence the box. Here we go. Once it was sequenced and we're in go around mode, brought it right back to the climb detent. Wow. You can hear it already coming back. And then we just execute the go around. Speed up, clean up. Nice to share the landing with crazy traffic. That was fun. That made it interesting. That really did make it interesting. All right, let's go ahead and bring the sim time back a little bit, so you guys can see all the juice. Oh yeah. Now let's go ahead and pause. Let's run forward to the actual landing. So we went all the way around. We did this and we did this, and then we turned back on final here. Scoot forward a little bit right about there. Resume. Oh, look at that. Look at the, what's out there? Look at those, like the, sorry for your ears. The port. That's cool. When we end the stream, I'll wind it all the way back and let you guys watch a nice full replay. Oh, look at this view. Buenos Aires. I need some Buenos Aires music. What's Argentinian music sound like? I need the theme song playing again. Jeremy, where you at? Let me go here. Let me see if I can whip something up here. Gotta find Jeremy's music. I have it on my PC. Yes. Right here. I don't know where I put it. The heck did I put it? There it is. Dun, 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 dun. How cool is that? Look at that. That's salsa, not tango. That was nice. So loud out there. Is this the main Buenos Aires? I'm not sure. I don't think it's like their big one, but this is right next to it. It's kind of like, it would be like how LaGuardia is to JFK. Pete S., thank you for stopping by the stream, man. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for your continued support. Look at that. That's so cool. Bradford, I should be out next week, man. Should be out next week. Runar, glad you enjoyed it, my friend. Take care, buddy. Love it. All right. Let's watch this one touchdown here. I'm going to bring the sound down. We'll go outside. Let's see how we did. Look at that. With the sun, or the moon, excuse me, in the background. Kiss the runway. That even looked better than a 176, if you ask me. Got my little, I don't know why my Fenix does that. I do not know why I cannot control the nose on touchdown in the Fenix. Do not know why. I'm going to rewind it. I'm going to give you guys a nice long one here to enjoy. sounded weird. Look at that. Look at the sun reflection. Screenshot. Boom. Done. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. It's going to be a couple days probably before we see you, before I see you again here. Lolar Pilot, thank you for the continued support. See ya, my friend. Probably be a little while before I see you guys again here on stream. So if you're a member of the channel, make sure you're checking the community tab. Make sure you check out the V1 After Dark section of the Discord for members only, exclusive for you guys. Oh, that just looks too cool, even though the speed brakes weren't up there in real life. So cool. Give me the SIAs in chat. Thank you for all the new members, the new subscribers, the gifted memberships. You guys are absolutely awesome. Shaq Oatmeal, thank you for another great thank you one. I appreciate your support, Shaq. Try to stay cool out there on the ramp, my friend. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, spam the chat with SIAs, and I'll talk to you next time. I'm V1. See ya!
One thousand.